Okay, it's time to start learning some offense. We might as well start with the most traditional type of strikes. These are the ones that if you search YouTube for fights, whether professional or just on the street or in a bar or in a playground, you're always going to see the same types of things. You're going to see basic kind of straight punches. You're going to see punches that come from the outside. Straight punches and hook punches. Now, though it's not like there's only two types, there's so many. But from the beginning, we want to kind of distinguish the two ways that you create power, or there's more than two, but let's just look from a static standpoint. So when we say static, what we mean is that we're learning this strike without moving our body. Obviously, if you're my height, sometimes you really have to advance in to actually throw a strike. But we want to learn the mechanics from a static standpoint, okay? So, again, let's go back to our fighting stance. You've worked that before already in other videos. So I'm going to take a natural step forward, and I'm going to get up on the ball of this back foot. Right now, I am what we refer to as square to my target. Each of my shoulders is pretty equal distance from them. My hands are up here. Now, this, I say square, the opposite of square, or is this kind of bladed. So as time goes on, you may want to become more bladed. I don't know. It's kind of a personal choice. You may want to actually be in the unorthodox or southpaw stand. I don't know. But for now, we're just going to look at some of the basics. Right now, I'm going to get in my fighting stance. Both of my toes are relatively forward. If I want to turn this back foot a little bit to the side, certainly for anybody who has a little wrestling background, sometimes that may come more naturally to them. But for the most part, I want to give this bad guy my undivided aggression. So my feet are forward, and this is the direction that all my initial strikes are going to go. So of course there are straight punches. Okay, so let's talk about the basic mechanics of straight punches, which are not the easiest type of punches to throw. The average person out there is going to throw almost instinctively kind of an overhand coming from the outside, right hand punch, or whatever their strong side is. Statistically, more people are going to be throwing overhand rights. So the reason that they do that is it's very intuitive to kind of create force like this. Throwing it from inside oftentimes is just not very strong. It just feels like they're just punching with their arms because they are. So we want to look at the basics of a good straight punch. So I'm going to start in my fighting stance, get those hands up right out in front of here. I'm keeping my elbows in, okay, right straight towards the target. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a fist, and I'm going to focus on these two knuckles right here. I want these two to be the knuckles that actually strike the target versus even all of them. And certainly the upper knuckles or this part right here, anything beyond that, it's very easy to get injured. In fact, straight punches as a whole are very prone to getting injured. I have a nice straight line here. There are no bends here, nothing going on like this. So I'm going to have this hand here. Now, generally, I will have the other hand protecting my face, but for now, I'm just going to focus on the mechanics of my strong side punch. This is, as I said, this is the typical thing that most people will do. It's just simply drive this arm and the muscles here and just extend it forward. But as you can tell, number one, my range is very limited with this. I got to be really close. I have to be really close to actually make this happen. Secondly, your arm is only about 8% of your body, so I certainly want more of my mass getting involved here. Remember, force is mass times acceleration. So even if this is really fast, but it doesn't weigh a lot, if it doesn't have a lot of mass, it's not going to be as forceful. So here's how I'm going to get my mass into this. I'm going to rotate my hip and shoulder in towards this target, okay? Now I say I rotate them in. I don't really want to rotate like a planet where 50% goes that way and 50% goes this way. You can tell that doesn't have a lot of force. I'm throwing that shoulder back. I want all my force to be going forward. So think of this rotation more as like this side over here is like a hinge, okay? So this one right here, I'm gonna hit the chest here so you just kind of more see the force of it. I take my shoulder and my hip and I rotate it forward. I'm gonna over exaggerate this in the early drills just to really work on rotation and getting my whole body weight into this. I say exaggerate because you may watch a boxing match, somebody professionally, and they're not even rotating on their foot and they're striking. Well, they've had a lot of practice, but the mechanics of what's going on in their body is doing that, okay? It's just that they have kind of developed it to where they can almost kind of rotate and create that kind of force without doing what we're doing here in the early stages, okay? All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the shoulder and hip and rotate it. But the truth of the matter is, gosh, to get this around, I'm gonna have to get up on the ball of the foot. I'm gonna have to, some people say like squishing a bug. The ball of my foot is here, and as I rotate, I allow the hip to turn over and even my knee starts pointing towards that way, and it allows me to rotate here. Now again, I don't want this shoulder flying backwards. I want it to pretty much stay where it is, and boom, I drive this forward. Again, these two knuckles here, driving into the target. At my full extension, I am gonna rotate this over. However, at the early stages, I don't want you to focus on trying to do this. Notice that when I do, what else do you see moving when I do this? My elbow. You see my elbow coming up. So this right here becomes very quickly this right here. Now again, you may see professional fighters doing this, but they have had time to create this kinetic and this structural connection in here to where this is just as strong as this. But it's just simply not true for the beginner, okay? All right, so for beginning here, I want to keep this elbow down and drive it straight out. A good example of how to figure out if you're doing this or not would be to throw this punch while you're standing next to a wall. So I'm here, this is what I want. If I allow that elbow to come out, I'll find that out very quickly. Out. Out. Okay, I don't want that elbow going out to the side. I want it to stay in. So from this perspective here, it should look like this. At my full extension, there's basically a straight line between the back shoulder and the fist, relatively, okay? The hip is towards the target, the shoulder is towards the target. Something besides that might look like this. Or maybe like this. This is my shoulder turning in, but my hips are still back. Again, I'm just leaving power on the table when I'd rather have all my power driving into the target, okay? All right, so let's throw some straight right punches, or whatever if you're left-handed, they'll be left punches, okay? I'm in here. I want you to think there's a string from here to there. This is A, that's B. It drives straight out, it comes straight back. Ready? And go. 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 Now let's go this one. Let's go at about 10% speed and stop at the 50% mark. Go. I want you to ask yourself, where's your hip? Is your hip towards the camera, towards your computer or towards your phone, whatever it is? Is your shoulder towards that? Or are you still back here, right? Have you rotated on the ball of that foot? And is your other hand protecting your face? Good. And bring it back. Notice that I'm making some noise. That's pretty important because it's a kind of a unique situation. I want to be relaxed if I'm in a fight, if that's possible. But when I impact, I don't want to be loose at all. I want that to be tightened up. Okay, so kind of the old karate movies. Hi-ya. There, I'm making a noise at the moment of impact. It helps my timing. It also helps me breathe. Okay, very important. All right, let's throw 10 straight punches with our strong side. Ready? Go. Go. Make some noise. Go. 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 Good, and time. All right, what about this side over here? Well, we're all probably pretty used to this side feeling a little bit weaker than this one, mainly because they don't feel like there's such a, they have such a runway as they do over here, whereas here it's more like, beep. Okay, so they think of the front side, traditionally called a jab, right here, as more of a setup for the real punch, but that's not really the truth. All right, so everything mechanically still the same. My elbow is going to stay down, my hands are up here, A to B, and then back to A. For now, I'm still going to exaggerate the mechanics of this and allow my knee and hip to turn over and get on the ball of the foot. Again, this may not happen later on, but right now I really want to drive that and create force that way. So there'll be much more of a snap here because, again, I don't have all this runway where I'm coming back here. So let's throw some front side jabs. Make some noise. Ready? Go. 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 Even at this stage, I'm being very careful not to drop this hand when I throw this punch out. Ready? Go. 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 Good. Now, how do I start putting these two things together? Look at the mechanics there. It's almost like there's a string attached to these two things, a towel around the neck, so to speak. When one is out, where's the other one? Protecting my face. Protecting my face while the other one's out. Driving it over, straight line. I'm really working on making sure that I get this rotation and my whole body weight into these punches. So let's throw some 1-2 combos. Ready? Go. 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 Good. Those are straight punches. Now, we'll stop there for this one. However, we're going to learn very, very quickly, especially if you're short like me, that a straight punch might not even get to the target. So we're going to have to learn very, very quickly to step in or advance as we throw all of our punches if necessary, if we're out of range. So anyway, that's straight punches, lefts and rights. Go drill.